Jamaica needs to prepare itself for this dispensation of the fourth industrial revolution, where the cyber world will be paired with the physical world. So you're living in the cyber physical. Technology and machines are working together, not just to deliver services in an independent way that was largely delivered in a non-physical way. Now, as was demonstrated, you have machines that can be deployed with artificial intelligence that can function physically. So it's not just call center jobs that we need to be looking at very closely. It is other kinds of jobs that will also be impacted. The solution is not to hide from it. It's not to be fearful of it. The solution is for us to use the technology to increase the level of training and skills in our society so that our people can take on higher order tasks which bring higher order pay. Jamaica needs to prepare itself.
This is a normal day in the life of Chinese school children. Biometric scans using facial recognition to enter the school premises and begin the school day. This seems like something out of a dystopian sci-fi film, but for Chinese school kids, this is an everyday reality. Again, another face scanner to pay for lunch using Alipay's One Face Pass to scan the child's face and deduct funds from the parent's account. If we do not resist digital ID here in the UK, this will be the way of life for future generations. We cannot accept this. We must not comply. We must come together and unite to defeat digital ID. We did it once, and we can do it again. Grab your stickers, get to the protests, educate your communities, and do not comply.
If you go to China, they're piloting it a few years ago in Shenzhen. So I lived overseas. If you go to Shenzhen, back in 2017, they already had facial recognition cameras there. So if you jaywalked in Shenzhen, they would immediately detect that and send you a notification, and they would deduct money from your what they call WeChat account. They use two main apps, WeChat and Alipay. So you can actually deduct your money directly from your account. This is 4 years ago, so this is not like some sort of conspiracy theory. It's not something that's going to happen 10 years into the future. This happened pre-corona in China. And so this system in China that exists is extremely advanced. They can detect if it's a man or a woman. They can guess your age. They can detect what kind of car model it is, who the manufacturer is. This is a sort of technology that we see in all these dystopian sort of films and whatever. And people keep putting it off and thinking that this is something that's going to happen later in my kids' lifetime or my grandkids. It's already here. And if this gets implemented anywhere, especially in a Western nation, it's not going away. Israel is already talking about the fourth shot. Then they're going to be going to herpes, and they're going to ask if you're gay. They're going to be asking if you ate 3 pizzas this week because it's unhealthy. If you buy certain books from certain countries, your country doesn't like you. You'll lose points in the social credit score system. So this is already the reality of the world in certain places, and we need to be aware of that if we don't want that or if we do. And to be perfectly honest, anybody who wants this vaccine passport, it's a misnomer. It's total control. Everything you do or don't do will be calculated. To the point where if they can detect your GPS signal, if you have a phone on you, they can detect who you're hanging out with. Oh, you're hanging out with somebody that said something bad 9 years ago on Weibo, okay, like a Chinese equivalent to Facebook or something like that, right? Oh, you lose 2 points. Oh, you bought Japanese books, you lose 5 points because you don't like Japan. This is what is going to come here because it's already there.
And we're doing that a little bit with contact tracing for COVID, aren't we? So that they can see where you're at and who you're with.
Now the Chinese are also ranked, given a mark out of a possible 950 points.
Shalom. I'd like to say all praises due to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Kakwadash. Double honors to the apostles of great millstone, of whom I learned this truth. Peace and blessings to the elect. And we are in the fourth industrial revelation. Like we're in the fourth industrial revolution, right? And we're approaching the image of the beast. We are in it, right? And I sent you a couple of videos. I shared a couple of videos with Andrew Holness of Jamaica. He's the Prime Minister of Jamaica, and he's pushing that, right? They already have it. They're approaching it in Jamaica, known as the National Identification ID, right? So UK is about to push it, right? The digital ID, right? Because everything is going digital, right? And basically this is a part of their fourth industrial revolution where robots and AI is going to take over, and you're going to be a subject onto the image of the beast, that with the whole mark of the beast, right? And you won't have no freedom. You're going to have a social credit score, like universal basic income and the social credit score, and if you go against their protocols, you're going to be um you're going to lose a lot of points of your social credit, and you're going to become an outcast. And it's already happening in China, right? And they're going to push that society here in the West, known as America, Canada, right? We're approaching that time, right? And so I'm going to show you this video, right? I'll share this.
Credit rate. Now the Chinese are also ranked, given a mark out of a possible 950 points. For now, the number is a sort of bank credit rating, keeping track of everyone's spending habits.
It may seem scary, but it's just like that here. We're used to it, and anyway, we don't have a choice.
If you think this couldn't happen in the West, ask yourself why so many cameras, smart poles, and 5G networks are being installed in your neighborhood. In London, the police are using facial recognition surveillance. Sainsbury's is already experimenting with AI.
Thank you for waiting. The cabinet will now be opened.
In UK railway stations, surveillance is being tested to collect travellers' data. And in Oxford, these barriers were installed by the council under its so-called 15-minute city plan. They were removed following protests. But look at what's replacing them in these quiet residential streets. As the tech companies are proud to tell us, the possibilities are endless.
Yeah. So this is a part of their plan, right? To have this new NWO, this new world order, where all these nations, right, they're taking counsel and they're setting up a social credit score with this whole universal basic income, this credit score, this mark of the beast system that they're gonna push, to the world, right? And this is a part of their plan, right? Psalms 83:1, right? They have taken crafty counsel. So, like this, it said that they're confederate when you go into Psalms 83. So they're doing a lot of things, right? In the dark, and they're gonna push it, worldwide, right? Like you won't be able to like they plan on setting up these 15-minute cities, which we're already in it. We live in the urban cities. We live in like Toronto, right? When you go to Toronto, right? When you go downtown Toronto, they already have these 15-minute cities. They have the bank underneath these condominiums, grocery stores. It's gonna be a privilege to exit your 15 minutes. It's because you're gonna be marked, right? You won't be able to have access to certain zones, certain regions, right? Unless you submit to this man system known as the image of the beast, which is the mark of the beast. And this whole this fourth industrial revolution, what Esau is setting up. So Revelation 13:15, and he had power to give life to the image of the beast, that the image of the beast shall both speak, and cause that as many would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. Right? So his image, is this whole his whole banking, right? Where he's pushing because they're already pushing it right now, right? When you go into the bank, when you're basically like everything is going digital, right? And basically, when you have this whole universal product code, what they have, right, which is the 666, right, the mark, sorry, with the universal the barcode, right, what they're pushing, because we're already living in their image, but they basically want to have complete like control of your financials, like your spending habits, and have total power and know what you're doing. So you won't be able to everything gonna be on it's gonna be digital. There's gonna be no cash, right? So this is their plan. They want to cash a society, and they want to tag you with this whole charagma known as the mark of the beast, right? And they want to identify you, and they want to cattle you. They want to have you like cattle and mark you. That the image of the beast should speak, and that cause that many will not worship the image of the beast should be killed. Right? So you won't be able to have access to this man's society, right? Unless you bow down to this man's image, and you submit, and you worship this man's image with this whole mark of the beast, which the ultimate power, control. And he calls it all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead. So this whole the brain chip, also known as the Neuralink, and the RFID chip, which is going to be in your right hand. Right, so they're pushing that, and it's going to happen because they're already doing it in Sweden, certain countries in Europe, I believe in Kenya. The children are being implemented with the whole the mark of the beast, right? So we're in that time, man, that Yahweh Shai is going to have to intervene, because you won't be able to, because the elect is going to be outcasts, and we won't submit onto this man's system, right? Yahweh Shai willing, man, that we endure, right? Because the whole earth's going to be tried, that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. Here is wisdom, let him have understanding, call the number of the beast, for the number of a man, his number is 600, 3 square 6. So the 600, 3 square 6, which is in the Greek known as the chi psi stigma. Right? Let's get it. Yes, it's chi psi stigma, right? Which is the stigma is something that's going to be inserted in your flesh, right? And that's the stigma, right? You're going to be branded like cattle. Hold on. You're going to be branded like cattle. Hold on. Yeah, so we're in that time. Right, so Revelation, hold on. Okay. Hold on. Revelation 3:10, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I will also keep thee from hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world, to try them that dwell upon earth. So they have this whole CDDC system, the central digital currency system that that East already has, right? And basically they have an agenda known as the 2030 agenda, that everything's gonna be cashless, right? You won't have no cash, and everything is going digital, right? And the ultimate goal of with this whole agenda, the 2030 agenda, is to chip everybody, right? Known as the charagma, and basically this whole digital identification. They want to know exactly who you are. Right? So this is their miracle, man, and they want to have total power over the people, right? And these are the people that's in power. These these international bankers, man, that has all these banks, you know. So with that, let us say our praise due to how Bashem Shai, Bashem Kwadash, double honors the apostle of great millstone, peace and blessings to the elect. Shalom.